morning. This is your breakfast news from AYOGEN online television at 8. This is a beautiful morning here in Ondo City, live. I am Makojola Oluwatosin Esther. Here are the headlines. On our local news this morning, Nigeria and Germany signed agreement on return of 1,130 Benin bronzes. 5 persons have died in a tanker fire incident. On our political news this morning, Save Nigerians, Your Lamentation, PDP tells APC. Anambra Deputy Governor OKK joins APC, meets Buhari at Sovilla. On our business news this morning, SEC partners EFCC on capital market fraud. Federal government shortlists 10,000 youth for investment loans. On our sport news this morning, Balogun to criticize. You can't criticize me for trying. Health news this morning, all pregnant women should be counseled, tested for HIV, says the pediatrician. On our foreign news this morning, Illinois women headed to jail after photographing grizzly bears at Yellowstone. On entertainment news this morning, why I postponed my music tour till next year, says Tiwa Savage. The full details coming up next. Nigeria and Germany signed agreement on return of 1,130 Benin bronzes. Nigeria and Germany have signed a memorandum of understanding MOU for the reputation of hundreds of Benin bronzes from 2022. Nigeria is expecting about 1,130 pieces of artifact from the world power. On Wednesday, Information Minister Lai Mohammed received a German government delegation in Abuja. Mohammed said a team of experts will leave Nigeria soon to engage with stakeholders in Germany on the return of the artifacts. The minister said though the country acquired them through global trading, it agreed to voluntarily relinquish them to further strengthen bilateral ties. The return of the artifacts will further central relationship between Nigeria and Germany. Culture today has become one of the effective tools for soft diplomacy, he said. Director General for Culture and Communication, German Federal Foreign Office, Dr. Andreas AYOGEN, said the repatriation will contribute to healing the wound inflicted by the looting. Groningen hailed Nigeria's National Commission for Museums and Monuments for its efforts. On the delegation were Director of the Museum at Rothenbaum, Professor Barbara Plankenstein, President Prussian Cultural Heritage Foundation, Professor Arman Parzinga, and German Ambassador to Nigeria, Brigitte Ori. 3 brothers, 2 others burnt in Adamawa tanker fire. 5 persons have died in the tanker fire incident in Mubi town in northern part of Adamawa State. Eyewitness said the fire started at a filling station in the early hours of Wednesday, when fuel was being transferred from a petrol tanker directly to hundreds of jerrycans at Kasuwan, Giela. Residents told our correspondent that at least 5 persons were burnt to death as a result of the inferno, while many sustained injuries. A volunteer aid worker, Adamu Madobi, said 3 brothers died in the incident. Madobi said more dozens of tricycles parked around the filling station were destroyed in the fire. The Executive Secretary of Adamawa State Emergency Management Agency, Dr. Mohammed Salaimon, confirmed the incident, saying 3 persons died while 2 others were receiving treatment in hospital. On our political news this morning, Save Nigerians, Your Lamentation, PDP tells APC. The People's Democratic Party has called on the All Progressive Congress to accept its mass failure in party management and governance and stop bothering Nigerians with their regular lamentations. The PDP was reacting to a statement by the APC in which it claimed to have proved the electoral process in the country. A statement by the National Publicity Secretary of the party, Kola Ologbundiyan, faulted the claim, saying, "What abounds in our nation is a painful story of how the APC has destroyed our economy, our electoral process, and our national unity to the extent that life has become despondent to the average Nigerian." We accept that the fact that APC lacks the capacity for feedback mechanism. However, the PDP wishes to bring the attention of the APC that all Nigerians today would wish this administration has come to its end. Notwithstanding our party council that the APC should begin to prepare their handover note because Nigerians are not ready to endure this anguish beyond May 29, 2023. The PDP urges Nigerians to contribute to rally with our party as we collectively prepare to rescue our nation from this incompetent, divisive and thoughtless APC and its administration. Anambra Deputy Governor Okeke joins APC, meets Buhari in Aso Villa. The President, Major General Muhammad Buhari, retired, has received the Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Nkem Okeke, at the State House in Abuja on Wednesday. This confirmed the defection of the Deputy Governor from the All Progressives Grand Alliance to the All Progressives Congress. APC Caretaker Committee Chairman and Yobe State Governor Maimala Boni and the Governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, were present during the meeting. This is happening ahead of the November 6th governorship election in Anambra State. Had earlier reported that AKK's principal Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State had last week paid a visit to President Buhari. During the visit, Obiano reported that Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Malami, CSAN, to the President over the minister's pronouncement that the federal government might declare a state of emergency in Anambra to ensure that the November 6th governorship election in the state takes place. After the meeting, Obiano revealed that Buhari is opposed to emergency rule in the state, adding that the president frowning at any form of intimidation ahead of the November 6th poll. On our business news this morning, SEC partners EFCC on capital market fraud. The Securities and Exchange Commission announced on Wednesday that it had engaged the staff of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission on capital markets, training in a bid to tackle financial crimes in the market. SEC described the training tagged Enlightenment Program on the capital market and the investigation of capital market complaints as one of the strategies of the SEC to drive the development of the market. The Director, SEC Lagos Zonal Office, Mr. Stephen Falomo, said sharing knowledge with the EFCC would help achieve a well-regulated market that will be dynamic, fair, and equitable. He said the Special Enlightenment Program was aimed at intimating the officers of EFCC on the workings of the capital market in general and enhancing the investigative skills required to handle capital market-related complaints. Falomo said we are all aware that the EFCC is responsible for the investigation and prosecution of financial crimes and that a large chunk of complaints and infractions in the capital markets can be deemed to be financial crimes. It is therefore imperative that the SEC supports the EFCC with up-to-date knowledge of the intricate workings of the capital market and some useful information on the investigations of financial crimes emanating from players in the capital market space. That is the primary focus of today's program. According to him, the relationship between SEC and EFCC dates back almost 2 decades, and two commissions have always maintained a cordial and mutually beneficial relationship. Federal government shortlists 10,000 youths for investment loans. The Federal Ministry of Health and Sport Development on Wednesday said 10,000 out of the 3 million youths who applied for the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund have been shortlisted. The Youth Development Arm of the Ministry said this in a statement it issued in Abuja on Wednesday. The statement titled Nigerian Youth Investment Fund, 10,000 youths shortlisted, with training and disbursement added that the selected youth will be entitled to loans between 25,000 naira and 3 million naira. It said the Ministry of Youth and Sport Development stated that out of the ongoing screening of over 3 million applicants of the NYIF loan, 10,000 have been shortlisted for anything for training by the ministry, after which they will be approved by specific amount. With the successful completion of the pilot phase, NIRSAL has cleared names of another 10,000 names for training and subsequent loan approval and disbursement. Loans are in the range of 250,000 naira to 3 million naira for now. According to the statement, checks done included age, BVN, whether or not the individual had an existing government loan or had received COVID-19 business payments. It added that all approved applicants will undergo training and to ensure efficient use of the loans. On our sport news this morning, Balogun to critics, you can't criticize me for trying. Super Eagles defender Leon Balogun has defended his commitment to the Nigerian national side after recent criticism directed him over his performances. The Rangers Glasgow defender has come under scathing criticisms following the country's defeat to Central African Republic during their 2022 World Cup qualifier at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos. The centre-back was held responsible for the late goal conceded against the Miners following a mix-up with his defensive partner, William Trust Ekong, allowing CAR forward Carl Nnagumada through on goal before slotting past Francis Uzoho in goal for the Eagles. However, the 33-year-old redeemed himself by scoring against CAR in the second game of the double-header clash in Douala, Cameroon. His first strike for Nigerians since he made his debut in 2014. In an interview with ESPN, the centre-back said he had always given 100% to Nigeria. You've seen me play for a few years now, and you know that when I step onto the pitch, I always give 100% and I am always passionate, Balogun said. Whether I am having a good performance or a bad performance, you can never actually criticize me for not trying. This is what I always give. This is the least I can do. On our health news this morning, all pregnant women should be counseled, tested for HIV, says the pediatrician. Associate Professor of Pediatric Respiratory and Infectious Diseases, University of Calabar Teaching Hospital, Dr. Atana Ewa, has advised all pregnant women to go for counseling and be tested for HIV during antenatal. Ewa gave the advice in Calabar on Wednesday at a 3-day workshop to reinvigorate and produce a work plan for journalists on the prevention of mother-to-child transmission. The workshop was organized by the Child Rights Information Bureau of the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture in collaboration with UNICEF. She said that HIV and AIDS was a major cause of infant and childhood mortality and morbidity in Africa. Ideally, the healthcare provider should counsel the parents and look for HIV in the child present to a health facility. Identifying HIV in children requires a high index of suspicion. Usually, the symptoms and signs of HIV infection in childhood are similar to those of other diseases seen in the tropics, but they may be more severe and occur more frequently. The common conditions associated with HIV are frequently infectious in nature, she said. Ewa said that the early features, usually non-specific, are fever, diarrhea, failure to thrive, cough, and generalized lymphadenopathy. Others, she said, were signs of opportunistic infections and recurrent and more severe forms of common illnesses in the child. According to our knowledge of the HIV structure is important in understanding the mechanisms of antiretroviral drugs, ARVs, says NAN. On our foreign news this morning, Illinois women headed to jail after photographing grizzly bears at Yellowstone. Samantha Diarin was caught on tape with 100 yards of the bears. After a video of her trying to photograph grizzly bears went viral, a woman from Illinois has been sentenced to 4 days in jail, banned from Yellowstone National Park for a year. Samantha Diarin, 25, from Carroll Stream, Illinois, was charged on Act 6 for disturbing wildlife at Roary Mountain in the park on May 10, while attempting to get a close-up picture of a grizzly bear and a corpse. Diarin has to spend 4 days in custody, a year on unsupervised probation, and faces up to $2,040 fines and fees. In an announcement on Thursday, acting U.S. Attorney Bob Murray, on behalf of the District of Wyoming, said, approaching a so grisly with cops is absolutely foolish. Yeah, pure luck is why Diarin is a criminal defendant and not a mauled tourist. Diarin appeared before a magistrate judge in a Mammoth Hot Spring, Wyoming, and on Wednesday, more than a month after she was slated to appear. She was also charged with another count of feeding, touching, teasing, frightening, or intentionally disturbing wildlife, which was dismissed. As per the National Park Services regulation, willfully remaining near or approaching wildlife is prohibited. The park is not a zoo where animals can be viewed within the safety of a fenced enclosure, Murray said. This news comes less than a month after Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon announced the state's intention to ask the federal government to lift its protections for grizzly bears in the Yellowstone area. On entertainment news this morning, why I postponed my music tour to next year, says Tiwa Savage. Award-winning singer Tiwa Savage has stated that she postponed her music tour till next year because of her father's death. The songstress said this during her Instagram live section on Wednesday, where she appreciated fans for their support. She also asked fans to anticipate her music tour, which was set to hold this year but has been postponed to next year. Savage said, I was originally supposed to go on tour this year, but everything was brought back. As some of you guys know, I lost my father, so I had to understandably push my tour. So my tour will be next year. You guys make sure you come out. I'm telling you, there is no experience like when you see me and my team and my band. The things we have planned in our tour are incredible. The sonorous singer had announced the death of her father on the 19th of July 2021. In a star-studded elaborate ceremony on September 3, 2021, the singer buried her father in Lagos shortly after the release of her extended play project, Water and Gary. True, Tiwa Savage did not go for an international music tour this year. Other Nigerians' interest artists have made the country proud with their successful musical tours held in different cities around the world. Music stars who had successfully carried out their music tours and concerts include Wizkid, Tems, Yemi Alade, Adekunle Gold, Burna Boy, amongst others. And that will be that on our breakfast news. We'll be right back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Highlights of our breakfast news this morning. Nigerians Germany signed agreements on return of 1,130 Benin bronzes. 5 persons have died in a tanker fire incident. On our political news this morning, Save Nigerians, your lamentation, PDP tells APC. On business news, Anambra Deputy Governor Okeke joins APC, meets Buhari Asovila. SEC partners EFCC on capital markets fraud, and federal government shortlist 10,000 naira youth for investment loans. On our sport news this morning, Balogun to criticism. You can't criticize me for trying. On our health news this morning, all pregnant women should be counseled, tested for HIV, says the pediatrician. On our foreign news this morning, Illinois women headed to jail for photographing grizzly bears at Yellowstone. Entertainment news, why I postponed my tour till next year, says Tiwa Savage. And that will be that on our breakfast news this morning. Thanks for watching. I want you to continue to subscribe on our YouTube channel, AYOGEN Online Television. Our breakfast news right at 8, same station, same time. See you tomorrow. Have a blessed day. I am Makanjola Oluwatosin Esther. Stay blessed.